Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this. This is January 4th, the fourth day of 7 days of rest, and this is our fourth water wisdom share. And this is the element of air today. So we will be addressing the air and the moisture in the air and our breath. So in that, we'll take a few breaths and come into resonance with one another, resonance with the water inside ourselves, inside our cells, the plasma, the blood, the tears, the sweat. Thank you. Today we have Grandmother Abril speaking to us about the wonders of the watershed and the miracles of being in relation with water. We are part of the Loving Waters Council. We want to thank the members that aren't with us today in presence. Thank them for being with us in spirit. We have Shanti Hart and Kathleen and Jim. And I pass it to Maya. Shelley, do you want more? Do you want to say more?
I just didn't know if you wanted to share about the pledge and
Yes.
invite Grandmother Abril.
Oh, I thought I did invite her. She's invited. Here she is. I formally invite Grandmother Abril. Oh, Maya, yeah, that's right. All right, so we've worked very hard in creating our pledge. I'm going to share the screen briefly. This is the Water First Pledge, and it's our the Loving Waters Council. And this pledge is available as a download from our website, lovingwaters.life. You're welcome to use it for your own water work and sharing this message, this vibrational frequency with your community, or just put it up on your fridge. Think about this, hold this in your heart, that we put our living, loving source water first in our lives. And today we will be speaking on joining with others. Is that right? Yeah. I pledge to protect, restore, and sustain the integrity of my local watershed, understanding it is deeply interconnected with all other water on the planet. And we would love for you to go onto the website if you're watching this and register your name. We have a watershed map that we're including people's names, watersheds all around the world, to register as watershed stewards. And Abril, Grandmother Abril, thank you for being here and speaking to us about the wonders of water and the watershed. And what is a watershed? Go ahead, Abril.
Oh, yes, technology. Hamaraiwaka, I want to say thank you so much for having me here with the Loving Waters and to share about the element of air and joining and the part of our water first pledge Of joining with others, I pledge to protect, restore, sustain the integrity of my local watershed, understanding it is deeply interconnected with all other water on the planet. Well, first I would like to give a deep and loving gratitude and reverence for the living, the life-giving, conscious, living, alive, and intentional, emotional intelligence of water. This life-giving, conscious, living, alive, and intentional, emotional intelligence of earth, of air, and the sun, fire, light, that which we are all made of. I want to give gratitude here to our ancestors that have walked before us, those present here today and the future generations to come. I want to give so much deep gratitude for the winged ones that soar through the breath winds of the earth and can see from all directions in that way. And our intermediaries and communicators for those, for that which is between the earth and sky. I want to give gratitude to the swimmers that also are intermediaries that speak between that which is in the deep oceans and the rivers and streams of between us and the earth. And I want to give gratitude to the standing tree nations and the creeper crawlies, those standing trees that are the lungs of the earth like that, and the plant nations and the medicines, and the stone nation, and the four-leggeds, and the two-leggeds, which are us, those human beings being human, walking upon the earth. I want to give gratitude to them. And I want to give gratitude to the seen and unseen, and I want to give gratitude for all of the cosmos and the solar tribe of the grandmother moon and the stars that have been in this billions and billions of years old relationship with our mother, this earth that is so life-giving. I want to give gratitude to her nature that is life-giving, and the power, the emotional intelligence of that power that has made us, and we have that power that is billions and billions of years old and goes beyond any of the modern sciences and goes deep within our own knowing of who we are as being human beings and interconnected relationship with all that is life-giving in these waters. And so today, this breath life, this breath winds, and I go into the watershed of my local region here, and I can feel my mother earth breathing, and when she breathes, these little springs will come up from the earth, and some of them are billions of years old. They come up from her breath. Yes, her mother breathes, and we feel that breath, and the breath winds as the water evaporates in the light, and it turns to light and mist, and it comes up and billows up in her breath winds and moves in the forms of clouds and then rains it down upon us. And every thought, every feeling, every action is within that movement of water, earth, air, and the light, the firelight of the sun and the cosmic stars. And we're made of that. And this nature is us. And that is power. That is truly power. So, with that, I want to thank you for listening to my little, my good feelings, feeling good, and my heart thoughts in that way. And I want to thank each and every one of you near and far for being present with us today, or who are going to listen to this what I have to say. And may those good feelings and those heart thoughts that we have ripple out from this circle and into the watersheds of life, into our lives throughout the earth, in our lives, to each other, and out to all of our relations. So I want to talk a little bit more about belonging to and with place. In this place, we're talking about wherever we are with the earth, that's where our watershed is. Whether it's in a desert, or whether it's in the high mountains, or whether it's by the ocean, or by a river, you know, this watershed, these veins that run through our mother are the same like the veins in our body. You know? And the ocean of the earth is the ocean of water within us, as it's the ocean in the cosmos. So that belonging to and with place, this relationship with place, and origination from place that gives life to the animals, the trees, the medicines, the swimmers, the winged ones, all this life that is just absolutely vibrant and incredibly wondrous in beauty that we know of. And I also want to also make a comment about the idea that someone can buy, sell, own, or enslave their mother or their water, and how we do that today to each other. So with this relationship with ourselves, our own inner waters, and the waters of our watershed and our Mother Earth, and all the waters of life, carries with it responsibility. And so that's how I connect to that portion of the Water First Pledge of joining with others to protect, restore, and sustain the integrity, the health of my local watershed, and relationship with that water. Because culture comes from that relationship. So there's a responsibility to it and with it. So in my area, we have an acequia culture. And an acequia is like a ditch that is dug, that comes off of the streams and rivers that feed and nourish the valley, the lands, so that we can grow food. And from that acequia culture, of course, water gives us food, gives us energy, gives us life, and gives us culture. And at the moment, so that water that comes from our watershed is fed by the star water blanket of snow that each time in the winter comes and gives that beautiful loving blanket on our mountains. And in the spring, when it melts, it feeds those rivers and streams that in turn go out throughout the land through the acequias. Now, some of our acequia culture is thousands and thousands of years old. Some of the communities are hundreds of years old. So it's a very, very, how should I say, intimate relationship that we have with water, food, earth, and all of our life ways of moving through the seasons to give us health. And so in that acequia culture, there are guardians of those acequias, and the community comes to clean those ditches every spring because of course, when the watershed, when the snow melts, it goes out, and then there's the sediment and the nourishment, the soils from the mountain watershed, that which has decayed, to bring more beautiful compost and everything down through those acequia ditches that goes back out to the land. So those acequias, the water running through our valley here, feeds the aquifer and thus feeds the springs. So when the Mother Earth breathes, the springs still come up and bubble up, and also are part of feeding those acequias. So there's this very much, and what doesn't get absorbed by the earth, of course, goes into the main artery of our watershed, which is the Rio Grande River, okay, that runs right through here in Taos, in this Taos Valley. Huge gorge, beautiful river. And so, so I'm explaining to you about the culture, which is very different than someplace like the Midwest, which right now the largest inner body of aquifer water that we have in this region is the Oglala Aquifer. Okay, and the water stewards are saying that that aquifer is about 50% depleted because not enough is being returned, given back to that aquifer. And that aquifer feeds many of the monoculture, industrial, agricultural methods here in North America, this United States, which we call Turtle Island. So when we look at these practices, that's part of our relationship of who we are as human beings, and we love to go to the grocery store because the truck's going to bring us all that food. And I think about California, which is one of the largest, most abundant states, which produces so much food, and it's exported all over the country. Water gives us food. The food gives us energy, and that gives us culture, our culture. So when I think about responsibility, today, our culture, our Acequia culture, our lifeways are being threatened here in Taos, this northernmost region. Now, some of it is, I would say, partially man-made. Another part of it is that there is an aridification, in other words, a great drought, withdrawing of the southwestern region. Are there solutions? Absolutely, there are things that we can do, to feed and nourish the earth and the water. Likewise, we also need to ask that everyone, wherever they live on the earth, are doing the same thing of nourishing that watershed, giving back to it, particularly if they are living in semi-rural areas or urban areas. Of what can they do to give back to the watershed, wherever they are. As I said, about protecting water is about relationship and our lifestyles. So our relationship with water and the earth is far older than any civilization. Civilizations on this planet come and they go. They've risen and they've fallen. The ones that have been sustaining throughout time are the ones that have respect for not taking more than you need and giving back to the earth in that way. So we are being asked right now to take a look at our lifestyles. When I have traveled in the world and gone to other areas, and it's fairly common knowledge that the people that are taking the least, are having the least impact upon Mother Earth's nature, are the ones that are being asked to sacrifice or to conserve more, or are maybe even don't even have access to water. Maybe they're walking miles to get water from one place. That's all they have left. And I think that today, because I live in the United States of America, that it's time to ask the Western industrialized nations to really question how much more do we need to be happy? You know, how much more do we need to manufacture and build and make and do and these developments that, yeah, we have to ask, what is our own carbon footprint as a human being, you know? So sometimes people ask me, they go, well, how can we become involved? Or what can we do? I think there's so many different ways that people can be involved and participate with their responsibility and relationship with their water and their watershed. You know, it starts with understanding the water in yourself, because I'm going to give you an example here. Right now, we have a water settlement that is based on first rights, second rights, third rights, all the different kinds of water that are here. And it's man-made law, okay, to try and be fair to different peoples who live here that need water to live, because we all recognize we need water to live. And we have built in different places, not here in Taos, but we do have a couple of places. The town has a water treatment, you know, a well and a water treatment thing that pipes the water and everything. But most of the county does not. Few of the main villages do, you know, or it has a main well for a particular small community and that's all their water. It's not going through some big treatment thing. So what we're looking at is growth in population and more people wanting to use water for development. And I want you to think about how we relate to water, because if I were to put a stent in my heart, for example, and said, well, I'm going to start draining off all that blood out of my heart, it wouldn't be alive for very long. And that's what the watershed is like for us. We know that the mountains and the watershed literally is the heart of our community, the heart of our life. And that's how connected we are to it, and going into that watershed for that which that watershed also provides in the ways of medicines. You know, our natural medicines come from that. There's other parts of our life way, which may include raising sheep, cattle, or the elk or the deer that provide extra sustenance through some of the offerings from the animal nation. So all of these things connect to that. So protecting water, what we've chosen to do in our local community is to lead that all of our actions, all of our words, all of our intentions are led by those heart thoughts, those good heart thoughts, and prayers for the greater good, the right relationship with water and all life in our community. So while we may say we're opposed to something that is going on here, we also balance that out with the saying, here are the solutions, this is what we do. We want to lead with the positive things. Let me think here, take a minute to reflect. And I don't know if I'm going over time. I know I have said a lot in that regard. So there are things that, one last thing I want to mention. It was about 5 years ago, I was in a circle with Grandma Aggie, and she said, we are going to see a water war. And she said, creation gave you intelligence, and it is now time for you to use it. We'll never forget her saying that, because that's why I opened with what my comment was, is that the earth, the air, the water, and the light, the sunlight, these are living, intelligent, intentional, life-giving. Okay. And we're made of that. So in looking at the intelligence to solve our own problems, ultimately it comes back to living with Earth. There will be peace on Earth when we live in peace with Earth. And that has to do with our lifestyle. So I think that's one of the most powerful ways to protect, because the solutions will always be there when we restore and sustain a healthy relationship with nature, the Earth's nature and the water. And from that point, we connect. We are always then, it's like stepping into the river of life, this life-giving, this incredible life-giving river of life. And we find out when we're swimming around in the river, we go, gosh, look at how many other people and beings and everything that are with me, that all cherish and have a reverence for life. And so it delights me that my community is coming together to work out what this water settlement means to us. And it's my heart and my thoughts are with them on this day, and as well as with you, because that's part of why I chose that part of the pledge. And that one last thing I want to share about the breath works, our breath. I was just singing a little gratitude song, because our Mother Earth can be fierce with her voice, and she can be as sweet and gentle as a lullaby. But that breath wind that is connected to the oxygen in the water, allow that the love and the gratitude and the truth that you embody for a right relationship with Earth, that is far more powerful than any man-made laws. And if there are something that is happening in your own community, it's okay. Get involved. You're invited to become involved, wherever you are. So I just want to, should I break now? I should check in with my Elizabeth here. Or should I just go sing a little song?
Well, I want to honor our time, but I'd love to hear a song. Let's check in with Sally. Do you have anything you want to share at all? Or Maya or Charlie? Okay, so Bill.
Well, are you opening it up to us, or I don't know what you're doing? So you're the...
Brill has said she has a song, and I thought we could use that as the close. So I'm just checking to see with any of the three of you whether you have anything to add before we close.
I have a water blessing poem, but I bow to Abril. I would love to hear her song.
Well, my dear sister Maya, I'm now wanting to hear your water blessing. How about I sing just a couple of verses of this short song, and maybe you'll go ahead and share that water blessing. I would be really, really grateful if you would. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hila Maya Elohe, Ilamaya Elohe. Wankantaka Tukashina. Ilamaya Elohe. Unchimaka. Ilamaya Elohe. Wankantaka Tukashina. Ilamaya Elohe. Ilamaya Elohe. Ilamaya Elohe. Mini Wichoni. Ilamaya Elohe. Thank you so much.
That is so beautiful. Oh. Well, I'm happy to end with this water blessing, called Water Blessing poem. And it was inspired by a quote from Henry David Thoreau. And he said, "A lake is the landscape's most beautiful and expressive feature. It is Earth's eye, looking into which the beholder measures the depth of his own nature." Well, just like Grandmother Abriel has been saying, we are that. We are the water, and we are the earth and the air and the fire, light also. So the water blessing. May you open your eyes to water, then your heart, seeing, feeling her as love, mother of all life, a vast intelligence informing the shape of things, carrier of memory, teacher of force and flow, and surrender to the formless when the time has come. May you recognize your own nature in her shimmering mirror, the nature of the universe in her spiral dance. May you find the path of least resistance as she eases around stones, kissing them as she passes, as if they were not obstacles, but friends. May you always honor the ebb and swell of your own unique tides, and still seek to embrace with compassion all that is different from your own dream. May you drink and have the thirst you came into this life with quenched before you leave.
Beautiful. Thank you both for inspiring words and connecting us with ourself and our water. Tomorrow we will be here again at the same time. And I believe the conversation is, what is it? What is it tomorrow, Shelley? Do you know, fire? Or
Yeah, it's Water First Youth, and Maya will be sharing story, and we invite people to come and bring their children and grandparents, parents, and not parents. Just come in short. Just
I have myself scheduled for Sunday.
Say it again.
I'm scheduled for day 6.
Oh,
So I don't know who's tomorrow, but I'm not tomorrow. I'm Sunday.
oh, I'm sorry. Saturday. Oops. Water for Future, Shanti Hart.
there you go. And tomorrow, the 7 days of rest is climate.
And
focusing on climate. There'll be meditations and music and teachings and sharing. And check out the 7 Days of Rest website and see what else they have going on there. And I guess we're good with our time. We've gone a little over, but I'd love for somebody to close us out if they wish. Charlie, would you like to?
I would love to do that, and I would love to do it with the message I received from Air today. as today is the celebration of air. And I've posted it in the chat for you to copy and use as you will. The message of air. I am the medicine. I am the constant medicine. I am the constant flow of all which you need. Deepen your relationship into me. Feel me in every breath. Know that I surround you no matter where you are. Deepen your relationship to me. I will not ever fail you. I cannot fail you because I am also within you. And together we have this symbiotic relationship where I need you as much as you need me. Thank you for being here, human being. Know how much you mean to me. Feel me, taste me, touch me. I will always be here. And if you listen closely, I will teach you. I will teach you that harmony and grace is all around you. If you allow yourself to create the space within you for it to fulfill its promise to you. Thank you, element air. And I'm complete. And may the blessings of water and air be with everyone as we close this call. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Maybe we can all get off mute and give a big yum. Ready? Yum.
Yum.
Water, we love you. Water, we thank you. Water, we respect you. Water, we are you. Thank you, everyone.
Mm.
Blessings.